Welcome back to the garden. Today I want to show you how simple and rewarding it can be to grow tomatoes at home, even if you don't have a big yard or traditional garden space. Tomatoes are packed with vitamins, full of flavor, and incredibly good for your health. But the best part is how easy they are to grow when you understand a few basic steps. With just a small area on your rooftop, balcony, or any sunny corner, and a few containers, you can turn unused space into a fresh, green garden that feeds your family with clean, homegrown food. You don't need expensive pots or fancy equipment to get started. Many of the containers already lying around your house can be reused for growing tomatoes. Old buckets, plastic tubs, or even sturdy bottles can work well, as long as they have enough depth and room for the roots to grow freely. What really matters is giving the plant enough soil so it can develop a strong root system. When roots are healthy, the plant grows faster, stays greener, and produces better fruit. To begin, strong and healthy seedlings are the key to success. When you start with good seedlings, the plant adapts more easily to containers and becomes more resistant to stress. I follow a simple and effective method that anyone can do at home. The focus is on gentle care, proper soil, and consistent moisture so the young plants don't get shocked. When seedlings are handled with patience, they grow thicker stems and deeper roots, which later helps them carry the weight of fruits without trouble. Once the seedlings are ready and planted into containers, regular observation becomes important. Tomatoes respond quickly to care, so even small changes make a big difference. Keep the soil loose, avoid waterlogging, and make sure the plants receive enough sunlight during the day. Rooftop gardens are perfect for this because they usually get plenty of light and airflow, which helps prevent disease. As the plants settle in and start growing steadily, this is the right time to think about feeding them naturally. I prefer organic methods because they improve the soil while supporting healthy plant growth. At this stage, adding a bit more soil around the base of the plant helps strengthen the stem and encourages the roots to spread further. This extra soil also provides fresh nutrients that the plant will use during its next growth phase. It's always satisfying to see tomato plants respond positively to simple care. Each new leaf and branch shows that the plant is adjusting well to its container environment. Gardening like this isn't just about growing food, it's also a peaceful way to relax after a long and tiring day. Spending a little time with your plants helps clear the mind and brings a sense of achievement that's hard to explain. If you've ever tried growing tomatoes this way, you already know how exciting it feels to watch them grow stronger every day. And if this is your first time, don't worry. This method is beginner-friendly and doesn't require special skills. With patience and consistency, you'll soon notice healthy growth and vibrant green leaves, which is a sign that your tomatoes are on the right path. As the plants continue developing, the goal is to support them naturally and avoid unnecessary stress. Simple steps like choosing the right container, using good soil, and feeding the plant at the right time can completely change the results. Over time, these small efforts add up, and before you know it, your rooftop garden becomes a reliable source of fresh tomatoes for your kitchen. Seeing this progress is incredibly rewarding. It proves that even with limited space, anyone can grow their own food. With just a little care and attention, tomatoes thrive, and the joy of harvesting something you grew yourself makes all the effort worthwhile. As the tomato plants continue to grow stronger, this is the stage where they really start showing their potential. You'll notice the stems getting thicker, the leaves becoming darker green, and the overall plant looking more confident and upright. At this point, it's important to maintain balance. Too much water can weaken the roots, while too little can slow down growth. I usually water when the top layer of soil feels slightly dry, making sure the moisture reaches deep into the container so the roots are encouraged to grow downward. Now that the plants are well established, organic fertilizer plays a very important role. Instead of relying on chemical products, I prefer natural options that slowly release nutrients and improve the soil structure over time. Organic fertilizer not only feeds the tomato plants but also supports beneficial microorganisms in the soil. These tiny helpers break down nutrients and make them easier for the plant to absorb, which leads to healthier growth and better fruit development later on. At this stage, I also gently add more soil around the base of each plant. This step helps in two ways. First, it gives extra support to the stem, making the plant more stable. Second, it encourages the growth of additional roots along the buried part of the stem. More roots mean better nutrient absorption, which directly impacts the size and quality of the tomatoes. As days pass, you'll start noticing new branches forming. Tomatoes grow quickly when conditions are right, so regular checking is important. Remove any weak or damaged leaves so the plant doesn't waste energy on parts that won't contribute to fruit production. This simple habit keeps the plant focused on healthy growth and improves airflow, which reduces the risk of pests and diseases. One thing I love about container gardening is how closely you can observe each plant. You begin to understand what it needs just by looking at it. Slight leaf curl, color changes, or slowed growth are all signals. When you respond early, problems rarely become serious. This connection with the plants makes gardening feel more personal and rewarding. As the plants mature, you may start seeing the first signs of flowering. This is an exciting moment because it means you're getting closer to harvesting. During this phase, the plant needs steady nutrition and gentle care. Avoid sudden changes in watering or feeding, as tomatoes prefer consistency. A calm, stable routine helps the flowers develop properly and improves the chances of successful fruit setting. Natural feeding methods continue to work best here. The soil stays healthier, and the plant grows at a steady pace instead of being forced into fast but weak growth. Over time, this results in stronger branches that can handle the weight of future tomatoes without bending or breaking. This part of the journey teaches patience. You might feel tempted to rush things, but tomatoes grow best when allowed to follow their natural rhythm. Each day brings small changes, and those small changes eventually lead to a full container of healthy, productive plants. Watching your rooftop garden slowly transform into a green living space is deeply satisfying. It doesn't just provide food, it brings peace and a sense of accomplishment. With just a little daily care, your tomato plants continue moving closer to the stage where flowers turn into fruit, and all the effort you've put in begins to show real results. As the tomato plants move into the flowering stage, their needs begin to change. This is a very important phase because whatever care you give now directly affects how many fruits the plant will produce later. When the first flowers appear, I pay close attention to the lower part of the plant. Older leaves near the bottom that no longer receive much sunlight are gently trimmed away. This helps improve air circulation and allows the plant to redirect its energy toward the flowers instead of maintaining unnecessary foliage. Pruning at this stage also reduces the chances of disease. When leaves are crowded and close to the soil, moisture can get trapped, which can lead to fungal problems. By keeping the lower area clean and open, the plant stays healthier and stronger. I always remove leaves carefully, never too many at once, so the plant doesn't get stressed. During flowering, tomatoes require extra nutrients, especially those that support blooming and fruit formation. I use a flowering and fruiting booster diluted with water, making sure it's gentle and well balanced. Feeding the plant this way gives it the strength it needs to hold onto flowers and turn them into fruit instead of dropping them early. Consistent feeding at this stage can make a noticeable difference in the final harvest. Another natural method I like to use involves chicken eggs. Eggs contain valuable nutrients, including proteins and trace minerals that help enrich the soil. Instead of throwing them away, I mix an egg with water and use it to water the tomato plants. This simple homemade solution improves soil quality and supports healthier flowering. Over time, the plants respond with stronger growth and better fruit setting. As flowering increases, you'll notice the plant becoming more active, producing more blossoms each day. This is a sign that the plant is happy with its environment. Sunlight, water, and nutrients are working together properly. At this stage, it's important to avoid disturbing the plant too much. Gentle handling and a consistent routine help maintain steady growth. Soon after, the tomatoes begin forming small green fruits. This is one of the most exciting moments in the entire process. Watching flowers slowly turn into tiny tomatoes feels incredibly rewarding. However, this is also when the plant becomes heavier and more vulnerable. As fruits grow, branches can bend or even break if they're not supported. To prevent this, I place stakes near the plants and gently tie the stems for support. Staking keeps the plant upright and ensures the fruits don't touch the ground, which helps avoid rot and pest damage. Proper support also improves air circulation and allows sunlight to reach all parts of the plant evenly. As the fruits continue to grow, the plant needs even more nutrients to support their development. I often use green fertilizer diluted with water at this stage. Green fertilizer is rich in essential nutrients and encourages the plant to produce stronger branches, more flowers, and larger fruits. This natural feeding method keeps the plant healthy without overwhelming it. With each passing day, the tomato plants look fuller and more productive. The containers that once held small seedlings are now supporting strong, fruit-bearing plants. This stage requires patience and careful observation, but the results are worth it. Every green tomato is a promise of a fresh, homegrown harvest waiting just around the corner. As the tomato plants enter the final stage of growth, the green fruits begin to increase in size and slowly change in appearance. This is when all the earlier care truly pays off. The branches are now carrying more weight, so regular checking of the supports becomes important. I make sure the stakes are firm and the ties are not too tight, allowing the stems to grow naturally without damage. Proper support at this stage prevents the plant from leaning or breaking under the load of developing tomatoes. Watering also needs special attention now. Tomatoes need consistent moisture to grow evenly and develop good flavor. Irregular watering can cause problems like cracked fruits or uneven ripening. I water deeply but gently, making sure the soil stays moist without becoming soggy. This steady routine helps the fruits grow smooth, firm, and healthy. As the fruits mature, the plant continues drawing nutrients from the soil. Light feeding with diluted organic fertilizer keeps the plant energized without pushing excessive leaf growth. At this stage, the focus is on fruit quality rather than new leaves. Healthy soil and balanced feeding result in tomatoes that are not only larger but also richer in taste. Slowly, the tomatoes begin to change color, signaling that harvest time is approaching. This is one of the most satisfying moments for any gardener. Watching fruits that started as tiny flowers turn into ripe tomatoes is incredibly rewarding. It's a reminder that patience, consistency, and simple care can produce amazing results, even in small spaces. Harvesting at the right time is important. I pick the tomatoes when they are fully colored and slightly soft to the touch. This ensures the best flavor and texture. Freshly harvested tomatoes from a rooftop garden taste noticeably better than store-bought ones because they are picked at peak ripeness, not early for transport. After harvesting, the plant often continues producing more fruit if it's kept healthy. Removing ripe tomatoes encourages the plant to focus its energy on developing the remaining ones. With proper care, a single tomato plant can provide multiple harvests over time, making container gardening very productive. Beyond the harvest itself, the entire process brings a sense of calm and fulfillment. Gardening becomes a way to unwind after long workdays, offering a peaceful routine that connects you with nature. Spending just a little free time each day with your plants can reduce stress and improve overall well-being. In just a little over 2 months, what started as a few seedlings in reused containers turns into a supply of fresh, homegrown tomatoes. This simple rooftop method proves that anyone can grow food, regardless of space limitations. With basic materials, natural feeding, and regular care, a small garden can produce big results. If you enjoyed following this growing journey, there's always more to explore. Every plant teaches something new, and each season brings new experiences. Growing tomatoes at home is not just about food, it's about learning, relaxing, and enjoying the satisfaction of creating something with your own hands. Once the first batch of tomatoes has been harvested, it's amazing to see how much the plants continue to thrive. Tomatoes are resilient, and with consistent care, they often produce multiple rounds of fruit. At this stage, it's important to maintain the balance between watering, fertilizing, and pruning. I continue to observe each plant carefully, making sure the leaves remain healthy, the stems are strong, and the fruits are developing evenly. Small adjustments, like repositioning the containers for better sunlight or slightly loosening ties on the stakes, can make a noticeable difference in overall growth. Pruning continues to play a vital role even after the first harvest. I remove any yellowing or damaged leaves and trim small shoots that aren't contributing to fruit production. This allows the plant to focus all its energy on the remaining flowers and fruits, which improves both size and taste. By keeping the plant's energy directed, each new tomato grows fuller, firmer, and more flavorful than the last. At this stage, feeding the plants with natural boosters becomes even more important. I rotate between green fertilizer and gentle organic nutrients, making sure the roots receive balanced support. In addition, I occasionally use natural supplements like crushed eggshells or diluted compost tea to enhance soil quality. These additions enrich the soil, prevent nutrient depletion, and help maintain strong growth without introducing harsh chemicals. As more flowers continue to bloom, I carefully monitor pollination. If you notice flowers struggling to set fruit, a gentle shake or light tapping of the stems can help simulate natural pollination. This small action ensures that the plant continues producing fruit steadily and reduces the risk of flowers dropping prematurely. Over time, this attention to detail results in a steady supply of green and ripening tomatoes across the entire plant. Staking remains crucial as the tomatoes grow heavier with each harvest. I adjust the stakes when necessary and tie new branches gently, making sure the plant remains upright without constricting growth. Strong support prevents damage from wind, rain, or the weight of the fruits. Healthy, upright plants also improve airflow and sunlight exposure, both of which are essential for disease prevention and optimal growth. Seeing the fruits turn from green to vibrant red is always a highlight. This gradual color change not only signals ripeness but also marks the success of all your careful care and nurturing. Picking tomatoes at the perfect moment guarantees the best flavor, and the satisfaction of harvesting homegrown produce is unmatched. Each tomato represents weeks of consistent effort, observation, and dedication. Finally, gardening this way teaches patience and mindfulness. It's more than just growing food. It's a way to slow down, connect with nature, and enjoy the results of your work. Spending time tending to your plants provides a natural break from the daily rush, offering both relaxation and fulfillment. By following these simple steps, even limited rooftop spaces can become productive gardens, supplying your kitchen with fresh, nutritious tomatoes throughout the season. And the best part is, with a little care, this process can repeat, allowing you to enjoy multiple harvests and continually improve your gardening skills. Homegrown tomatoes are not only delicious, they're a testament to what consistent effort and natural care can achieve. As the tomato plants continue to flourish, you'll start noticing a beautiful rhythm in your garden. Flowers slowly turn into green fruits grow larger, and eventually they ripen into vibrant, juicy tomatoes ready to harvest. Watching this entire cycle unfold in your own rooftop or balcony space is incredibly satisfying. It's amazing how a few simple containers, reused soil, and consistent care can create such a productive and rewarding mini garden. Every leaf, every flower, and every fruit tells the story of patience and dedication paying off. At this stage, your focus is on maintaining the health and productivity of the plants. Continue watering carefully, feed with organic boosters when needed, and prune gently to keep the plant's energy directed toward fruit growth. Make sure all branches are well supported with stakes and adjust ties as the fruits get heavier. By keeping the plants upright and stress-free, you ensure stronger growth, more flowers, and larger, healthier tomatoes. Small efforts like these make a huge difference in both the quantity and quality of your harvest. One of the most rewarding parts of home gardening is tasting the fruits of your labor. Fresh tomatoes picked directly from your own plants are far superior to anything store-bought. The flavor, aroma, and texture are unmatched because they were allowed to ripen naturally. Sharing these tomatoes with family or neighbors also brings a sense of pride and accomplishment. It's a tangible result of your work, patience, and care. Beyond the produce itself, this gardening process is a wonderful way to relax and reconnect with nature. Spending a few minutes each day tending to your tomatoes is not just productive, it's therapeutic. You'll find yourself observing small details, enjoying quiet moments, and celebrating the small wins as each flower blooms and every fruit grows. It's a gentle reminder that even in a busy life, a little time spent with nature can bring immense satisfaction. As your tomato garden continues to grow, you'll find that the process is almost self-sustaining. With proper care, you can enjoy multiple harvests throughout the season, continuously learning and improving your gardening skills. Every cycle of planting, nurturing, and harvesting reinforces the joy of growing your own food and inspires confidence in your ability to cultivate a thriving garden in limited space. So, if you enjoyed this gardening journey and want to create your own rooftop tomato garden, start small, stay consistent, and embrace the natural rhythm of the plants. Your effort will be rewarded with fresh, nutritious tomatoes that taste better than anything from a store. Don't forget to like this video if you found these tips helpful, leave a comment sharing your experiences or questions, and subscribe to Low Input Living for more practical and inspiring gardening tutorials. Every like, comment, and subscription helps grow our community of home gardeners who are turning small spaces into flourishing green havens. Start your garden today and see just how rewarding it can be.